If I'm here that long, I'll be amazed.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
We got Sean here.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, you want to talk about your huge news? I guess I heard you got a promotion.
I did. The group, we ran the largest field program in Wisconsin this last cycle. The reports of the demise of the Democratic Party in the battleground states is quite exaggerated. The GOP has been given just enough rope for them to hang themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Wisconsin is bluer now than it was on November 4th because the Democrats control more state house seats, more state Senate seats. We held the congressional, we held the U.S. Senate. Literally at every measurable metric that you can put, we won this state. Minus the only part of the ticket that we had zero control over.
Yeah, the new maps definitely helped too, though, right?
Oh no, they did for sure, but you still got to go. I mean, we knocked on 400,000 doors in 35 days.
Impressive.
Yeah. My previous record, and Nancy can speak to this, was 36,000 doors in one day, and that was the Saturday before the March 4th primary in 2008.
Yes.
That was the most doors I've ever knocked on in one day.
That's the 3 days we didn't sleep.
That was part of those 3 days. Yeah. I mean, over the whole weekend, we knocked on like 80,000, but that specific day was 36, and that was the biggest day of the three. And yeah, I didn't sleep for 3 days. We did that with volunteers and hard copy, no apps, no cheating.
Mm-hmm.
This last the election day on the 5th, we knocked on over 50,000 doors that day. We launched 800 canvassers in 45 minutes, which is logistically freaking amazing. The people I worked with were absolutely some of the best people I've worked with in this business in 26 years, present company excluded, Mom. And yeah, it was an amazing operation. We definitely the mayor of Racine came up to our regional field manager and thanked him for saving his race. I mean, it was like across the board. We just there was no seat in Wisconsin that we didn't have an impact on, minus Madison, because Madison was its own thing. But Kenosha, Sheboygan, Milwaukee, Racine, Green Bay, those are the 5 cities that I was in charge of, and my team worked. And we absolutely had the largest field program in Racine's history. We had the largest field program in Green Bay's history. I would argue that Milwaukee, whatever they did in 2008, we gave them a run for their money in Milwaukee. I can't speak that it's the largest, but it was freaking huge. And they liked the work we did so much that it looks like they've asked me to come back for the Supreme Court, which is in 5 months. And then 8 months after that, we have the primary for 2026. And 8 months after that, it's 2026. So my next, I'll have Thanksgiving, and then it's going to be back to work. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
The Supreme Court is in the spring election?
Yeah.
It's nonpartisan.
Yeah, it's nonpartisan.
True, but strange.
No. Partisan elections are always in November. Nonpartisan elections are always in the spring.
Mm-hmm. And there's some exceptions to that rule, but generally that's usually how it rolls. And
yeah, so technically, under 50% of the people usually only vote in them. That's the problem always too.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it allows you to focus a little bit more, and also since only 50% vote, if you're able to get 55% out, That's a huge metric change in voter turnout for a given election. You
Correct.
know, I don't poo-poo races that don't have like 100% turnout like on presidential cycles. No, what the presidential cycle does is it shows you what you can do, and then the history for those elections tells you what it has done. And my job is to make it as close to the presidential cycle as I can, because the more people to vote, the better, as we found out.
Did you see any of the numbers for the federal election?
Sure.
Or are you talking about the state?
Well, I mean, we saved the U.S. Senate seat here.
What's that? Sorry.
We saved the U.S. Senate seat here for sure.
Right. I mean, like the House. I didn't look at it.
Oh, you're talking about the House overall? It's looking pretty rough. Yeah, those of you that know who I am, I have a whole 15-part series on my channel just about Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is the Republicans couldn't govern their way out of a shoebox. The bad news is even these idiots couldn't screw this up. So my feeling is that Project 2025 will absolutely be implemented. Most of the people who voted for Trump and those morons are going to feel the ramifications of that. Anyone who lives in Florida who voted Republican, I think probably has like 2 brain cells or something, because they want to get rid of FEMA. I'm done. Florida's about to get hit by the 3rd Cat 4 in as many months. I mean, good freaking luck, Florida. Like, it's almost like God's just slowly smiting that state right off the planet, and good riddance. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that the House probably will go Republican by 1 or 2 seats, which means that you're going to have. There are a lot of Republicans that know that they aren't holding their seat past 2026.
We just have to hold them off 2 years.
Huh? Oh, no. We're not holding them off. They're going to have control of the Senate and the House and the executive. The amount of damage the GOP this is why I haven't done a show since the election. The amount of damage the GOP is going to do to this country is it's going to be in the worst way fantastic. Like it's going to just be fundamental, and it will be my grandchildren will feel the ramifications of this cycle
if they get it through. Yeah.
That's why I haven't done a show. I can't be doing a show where people jumping off roofs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. Do you happen to notice Google Trend searches?
Yeah, I saw some of those. It was interesting.
Yeah, I seen a uptick the day before the election. Did Joe Biden drop out of the election?
Right.
And then after the election, everyone's Googling how to leave the United States, which countries.
Guys, I have 2 places to go. I have the paperwork to go to Ireland because my grandparents were born there. And I have the paperwork to go to Canada because my parents were born there. And I have a cousin with a guest room. But I'm going nowhere. I mean, hell, if I've lived in Texas this long.
They couldn't kick me out of this country. I'm going to be right here fighting hard. I'm not. They wish I would. They would buy me a suite in Canada if they could, but I would not take it. I will be right here. I will be fighting. And those idiot. Listen, to all the Republicans that are watching this show, I don't even know if there are any. I'm not saying Republicans are racist. I'm just saying all racists are Republican. I'm not saying all Republicans are Nazis. I'm just saying all the Nazis are Republican.
You were raised right, Sean.
True that.
I ran into a Republican woman yesterday who tried to explain to me why she voted for Trump. And I'm sitting there like, you're going to kill. Like, we lost 26,000 women just in Texas since the abortion ban and everything kicked in. Mm-hmm. So I looked at her, I was like, you're just going to kill women because you felt something? That's such a nonsense completely removed from reality.
It's not like
State of mind. It's just complete. It's narcissism at a level that I have never seen in my life, and hope to never see again. Quite honestly, I was like,
fortunately, you didn't spend much time around your grandmother.
Well, yeah, H and I probably would not have gotten along.
No, H and you would not have gotten along. No. H is my mother. So
yeah,
those of you who don't know.
They didn't even call her mom; they called her H. That's pretty much all you need to know. So yeah, no, I've talked to quite a few people. The work we did here was phenomenal. Wisconsin is bluer now, like I said, than it was on November 4th. I think the Republicans, of course, are going to overreach. Literally, Project 2025 is how to overreach in government. That I think they're going to probably kill 250,000 women with their health policies. They'll get rid of the ACA. There's another couple million people dead. So yeah, they're gonna really mow through the population pretty hard. And keep in mind, this isn't an environment where the demographics of the major industrialized countries are done. China's done. Japan's been done. South Korea's done. Germany's done. France is okay. We're all right. Canada basically immigrated their way out of their demographic collapse. All that immigration, all the Republicans are talking about oh, we need to keep those blah blah blah. Believe me, the 2 million workers that we have is the reason inflation isn't 9% right now. The immigration we have is the reason that gas is in $8 a freaking gallon right now. And the fact that these morons, and they're idiots and they're so stupid. Oh, these people who voted Republican are just literally the dumbest people in the world. Have no idea that 1 + 1 = 2. They think it equals fish or fucking something else. I don't know. But they have no clue as to the amount of damage they're going to do to our country. 2, Western Europe's done. Poland's been looking for a fight for 40 years. They're going to have one. You think it's expensive now? Wait until Europe collapses, because that's what's happening. Russia's going to run right in with North Korean soldiers. I mean, did I write this book? Is this a movie? What are we talking about here? And weirdly, the Democrats are the ones that are saying we got to get the guns and we got to get the tanks and we got to go fight. And the Republicans are the ones going, why? They're our friends. I mean, it's just bizarro land, right?
Yeah, if you take Sean, if you extend everything out to what might seem to be the obvious conclusions. In my life, I learned there are no obvious conclusions. But we've got a lot of people in chat, dear, talking about, I can call Sean dear because he's my son. I forget, people go, you're really close to that consultant, you know. But
so close, you guys have no idea.
I mean,
she pretty much wiped my butt. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure it happened.
Anyway, what we need to remember, I mean, we also can take this as a time to organize in a way we haven't in a long time. Especially the elderly, because they were always like, oh, they're never going to take our Social Security stuff. Absolutely, guys.
Hey, I'm X Gen. We never thought we'd have Social Security. So this is really zero effect on us. Unfortunately, yes, your Social Security is gone. Absolutely. They're going to privatize it for you. Good luck with that. I never thought we were going to have it in the first place by the time I got 65. So it's really nothing on me.
I have fought this with Sean for years. So.
Yes.
Yeah. They've been talking about it forever.
Well, see, it looks like I might just have to move to Wisconsin, Scott.
They like beer here. They like cheese in everything here. They love sausage in this state.
Brats, beer, and cheese.
For real. That's weirdly, I think, the diet in this state. It's not healthy. Oh my God.
What do we have? We have avocado toast and tamales and enchiladas and lots of good greasy chili. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. I love Texas food. But yeah, no, the Republicans are going to do all the things they said they were going to do during their primaries. And keep in mind, like 7 or 8% of the voters vote in primaries. So that other huge chunk that don't vote in primaries didn't pay attention in the primary and wonder, why are these Republicans doing this to us? Well, all I have to do is rewind it back to March of an even year.
If you want to really know where the roots of what happened this last election came from, there was the Republican Party, their moneyed elites put all their money together, and right after Obama was elected in 2008, and they came up with Project Red, and that was to take as many states as they could and invest on the ground and figure it out and get people to vote for Republican issues in as many states as possible so they could take over the redistricting in 2010, and they could take over the whole state governments. Like Sean, when you read the list of people who are going to be representing us in Austin, it does make me go in the corner and throw up. But and they invested all this money. There's a very famous book about this. Rachel Maddow's spoken about it several times. She's interviewed the guy who did this thing. He said, I got hired to tell them how to turn. I mean, and y'all are like, what a reprehensible person he was. Well, he probably didn't think it all the way out to the end. Trust me, when you work in politics, there's a lot of times when you just figure out to the next election. You don't do a lot of long-term thinking. Someone else is doing long-term thinking, and they turned a lot of states where they got the legislatures, and they just started changing the laws to make it more and more and more difficult. I'm sorry, everybody. This is an awful thing to do you on a Sunday morning. But that's where the roots of it is. And the Democrats have I used to hate the phrase, I don't belong to an organized political party. I'm a Democrat. That used to make me so outraged because we should have been. And there were those of us like, well, when I was running my company, we were doing it. And we got cut out by the power elites in the Democratic Party. So
absolutely we did. Yeah, the fact that the entire leadership of Texas was Hillary during the 2008 cycle, and we were Obama, that ended any work that I'd be able to do in Dallas for sure. I did not know that at the time, but yes, they absolutely came after the only people who actually did know how to do the work to fight off the GOP, and they deep sixed them because we liked Obama, not Hillary. I like Hillary. I have nothing against Hillary. I think some of the people she hired are garbage, but when she ran for office, but that's neither here nor there. There is a universe of individuals in the Democratic Party that absolutely need to be held accountable for what happened this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they won't be. I know for a fact they won't be. So here we are. Like I said, if you need to find me, I will be working a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin and then looking at the primary and the general in 2026.
And you're going to keep your channel going, aren't you?
Of course. Yeah, I haven't done it. Like I said, I haven't done a show since I've posted some things, but I haven't done a show since the election because, for one thing, I'm letting the math kind of work its way through because I want to talk about real math. What happened? I mean, I know what happened. The Hispanic male vote bought into the machismo BS nonsense that comes out of the orange idiot, and that strongman nonsense crap that works in Central America and South America and they love the strongman. They think he is the guy who can get it done. He cannot, and he will not. And ironically, most of those voters will have family that will be absolutely deported. I think on my Project 2025, when I just talked about deportations, and when I went in and just looked up every group they were going to throw out, it's like 8 million people they're gonna throw out of this country. BT dubs, most of them are going to be under 40, and that is going to seriously jeopardize the demographic, health, and consumption and economics of this country. I guarantee it.
Mhm.
Let alone the cost.
Oh, your food's going to triple.
I mean, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, just flat out.
Cost just to round up people, send them back.
Right.
They even have a place to go. You really think these other countries are going to say, "Oh yeah, drop them off"? No. I was reading a report. I never seen this before, but in 2023, the Biden administration, ICE, deported 1.1 million people.
Right.
Yep.
So they've been doing it, right? But
Yep.
let alone, but these are the people we don't want that are being deported. But
trust me, every country on the planet that's developed as a manufacturing environment, like China, would kill for a couple million people to want to move into their country, because China's done. China's cost of labor is up 1,200%. They're literally going to be 5 different countries before my time here on this planet's over. Europe Germany's done. Like I said, these countries that have been around since World War II are no longer going to happen. I mean, there are more people over the age of 40 in China than under the age of 40 in China. And it's not by a little bit.
Oh, and it's like the same thing in Japan.
In Japan, Japan's been working on it.
Yeah.
And they've allowed immigration, although it's been
immigration is very troubling in Japan because
it's hard.
Of the Japanese.
They don't like people that aren't Japanese. Yeah.
They don't even, some of the people from northern Japan don't even like the people from southern Japan.
I thought growing up in Texas and in the South, I knew what racism was. I lived in Asia for 15 years. I learned what racism is. And we are amateurs at it. So, they got their own problems. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of change. We're pulling out of the world, the U.S. We've elected now 4 populist presidents in a row. Obama was already trying to get us out of everything we were in. Of course, part of that was 2 wars. And then, Trump did even more. I mean, the deal we made after World War II with our allies is like, hey, if you don't do business with Russia and do business with us, we'll make sure that your goods can travel in the open seas without any problem. We had the only operational Navy after the war. So we took all those cruisers. We had 500 cruisers, and we parked them at every place that mattered to make sure that goods and services can move freely. Well, we stopped doing that because, for one, like, even the Gulf War wasn't about oil for us. It was about oil for our allies. We already made our own oil. We've made our own oil for decades. We're an exporter now. So yeah, the world's changing. I think Trump is just merely a mucus covered symptom of that. His racism and his hatred and his misogyny, because he's a convicted rapist and a criminal, and he's the president of the United States. And I want everyone to know he's my president. I am not proud of that, but I'm not one of those morons goes, he's not my president. No, he's all of our presidents now. Get used to it. And you need to use that energy and the amount of bile that fills my throat every time I think about it and put that to work. I already, literally on the 6th, I was building out field programs for a Supreme Court race. That was my time of mourning. I don't mourn anymore. I'm a Texas Democrat. Getting annihilated is literally a Tuesday for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday every 2 years, in fact.
Yeah, and I see in the chat, Sean, some people are saying they're going to pull out because this is so depressing. The thing is, you need to look at what you're facing.
This is why I haven't done a show. I mean, you know, I don't have a lot of positive things to say beyond get your ass up and start working. That's it. There's no coddling here. We don't have time or energy for that. We have to start knocking on doors. We got to start figuring out what happened. I know what happened. Trump is an anomaly.
Yeah.
It only works for Trump. Hence the reason every single race for 2 years he lost that he backed. He is the only thing that works for Trump. Trump works for Trump. That's it.
Yeah.
He will try and stick around after 4 years, and we'll have to deal with that. That's why there's a military, and they'll take care of it. And he'll probably want to. I mean, he's old as hell, and he's a walking cheeseburger. I doubt he'll be around for 4 years.
Correct.
And his vice president's a complete and total idiot. So that'll be easy pickings. But whatever's left of the GOP after this will be a shadow of the party that, you know, my dad hated.
Right. I mean, half his cabinet probably can't get a security clearance.
No, it won't matter because he'll just waive it because he can.
True.
Yeah. Supreme
Thank
Court.
you, Giovanni.
But so proud.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry everyone who left. I didn't mean to bum out your channel, and I warned you. I
mean, it's good to be in reality. Just in case, right?
I'm here to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
People want to complain and yell, and that's on them, and that's great, and they need to get through that. But sorry,
you need to find your tribe.
I have a daughter and I have a son.
Yeah,
one is 10 and one is 12. I don't have the luxury of not working on this problem.
Yeah, I think it's the disinformation campaign that we got to counteract.
There's no way to counter that.
Yeah,
it's too prolific. It's
to bring, when you're doing the one-on-ones, you know, the factual thing,
right?
You know, if they say something, you can put it on your phone. No,
I mean, you honestly, you want to solve your problem as far as information. Stop listening to the talking heads. Cancel your cable subscription. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch MSNBC. Lord knows, don't watch Fox. Get rid of all that nonsense because it is just all nonsense,
right?
And pontificating and BS.
Well, it's like
start reading the AP.
It's the youth men you need to try to reach because they get their stuff from like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
right. It's that,
and Joe Rogan's got some good shows. Neil deGrasse Tyson's on Joe Rogan all the time. I've watched Joe Rogan. I also know that even Joe Rogan knows that most of his guests are full of shit. Excuse my French.
Right, but it's sad that it goes into a disinformation realm instead of being actual facts or questioning what they're saying and not just going along with it. You know.
Yeah, there's a misunderstanding about what it means to be open-minded. You know, saying the sky is red when it's blue is not being open-minded.
Yeah.
Saying water isn't wet is not being open-minded. You know, so I got to keep, you know, the world could be, you know, world could be flat. We need to keep it open. No, we don't. You're an idiot. Stop talking.
There's already betting sites up for who's going to be president in 2028.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is 3.3% chance.
Well, putting betting pools in there is not helpful. Anyway, people, the thing.
Well, do I get to pick one? I'll do Matthew McConaughey. Boom. The all right campaign. You take Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was disappointed that like Kristen Lyerly and the other girl that ran against Van Orton didn't win. I thought they had great campaigns. So forth. Unfortunate.
Well, presidential cycles, it's super hard. You can have a great campaign and still lose. There's so many. The problem is that you've got a big gorilla running around in the middle of your campaign that you've got no control over.
Mm-hmm.
And it knocks stuff over and it breaks things and it does stupid stuff. And comes in with an inordinate amount of money and makes your ability to do your campaign more expensive and harder. So yeah, presidential cycles are really just a pain in the ass.
I'll tell you where people can start as far as I'm concerned. Look at their local campaigns. Look at who's running for mayor, county commissioners, city council people.
And find out where their money's coming from.
Right. And if, and go and look them in the face and see who they are, because that's where the next generation of politicians are going to come from. And if we're not there looking at them and kind of letting them know that the people actually matter, nothing's going to matter. I mean, I've always been much more into understanding local politics, and we turned Dallas blue, which is a step towards turning the state of Texas blue.
Yeah, I got asked a lot of questions because I'm up here. I'm a Texan. It's pretty obvious. I get asked a lot of questions. Like, well, why can't we turn Texas blue? And I talk about this on my show quite a bit. You might, if you took all the money out of 5 states and put it into Texas, you might win. Or you could just win those 5 states. And we're talking Senate seats. There's really not even an argument. The fact that any money is going into Texas boggles my mind, because especially at statewide.
PBS is very good.
I watch AP. I mean, I read AP. It's the Associated Press. I read it every day. I don't know why you would stop watching it. I don't really watch news. I read news. I don't need anyone to read to me.
That's why you're smarter.
No,
I read too.
When I was 23, I worked at a PBS station, and we had one millionaire one very, very wealthy man who really supported the station, and he was conservative, but he wanted a diverse view. There were people alive like that at the time, and he went to Washington and paid for all the people to go up there because the Republicans were trying to kill PBS. And that's when Sesame Street was on, and lots of nice documentaries. I mean, it's nothing like. So that's another thing. If you like PBS and you like it as a source, support it in your area. They have drives. They have things they do. Anyway.
NPR is great. I mostly listen to their podcasts if I do listen to news, but it's real specific and real. I mean, it's, but yeah, no, I read my news now. Somebody's like, oh man, I can't believe we have to listen to Trump for 4 years. I'm like, only if you want to.
I'm so fast. If his face shows up in the
screen, I mute. I've been muting him for 3 years already. So it's really not been a thing. To avoid Trump is not a problem. You're right. Once you see his face, just mute it. And when his face goes away, unmute it. If you want to watch the news, I would advise everyone to start reading, because if you read about Trump, it's not in Trump's voice. It's in your own.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's 33 minutes, and I was only be here half an hour.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks for getting up, Sean, and give us some info.
Well, I'm gonna do a show, and God, I don't even know how many subscribers I'm gonna lose. But
that's the other thing. A lot of readers said, they lost a whole lot of people that had been following them through the elections. They lost bots.
Yeah, I didn't actually lose as many as I thought. I thought I lost a bunch, and it was like 58, which compared to some other people is like a rounding error. So yeah, no, I'm and bye-bye is all I have to say to that. I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'll talk to you later, guys.
Do you believe a recount's in order?
All right. Oh, do you believe a recount? No. Not at all. No. He won. And that's where we're at. There was no conspiracy. There was no nonsense. This was the most accurate election since the last election. No. I'll be real quick. Sorry. There's one last thing I want to say. The reason that it went the way it did, we didn't have a primary. We didn't. Biden, I throw all this mostly on Biden, quite honestly. He was only going to run for one term, and then he didn't. So we could have had an open primary, and she would have been part of it. She would not have been the top of the ticket. I guarantee.
Yeah, I believe that.
I'm a huge Kamala fan. Huge Kamala fan. But there's no way, and now for sure, not in my lifetime, will there be a POC female at the top of a ticket national in my lifetime. Not after this. The last Republican, so technically the last Republican non-incumbent to win the popular vote was Reagan, and Bush did it his second term. No, was the first Bush. But he was technically a VP, so he really doesn't count. It's really Reagan. You have to go all the way back to 80. And even Trump, when he won his seat this time, he's still an incumbent. You know, the Republicans have not won the popular vote with a non-incumbent candidate since Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
So when all this settles for, you know, when everything kicks in about 36 months and we're starting to hit the 2028 campaign harder, there's gonna be a lot of math and a lot of mathing, but I guarantee you the top of the ticket will be a white male and then whatever else, Hispanic, black, whatever, but it will be a white male at the top of the ticket because we don't want to lose. I mean, that's nobody likes losing. And we're not going to lose the next one. I guarantee it. So that's what's going to happen. And is it fair? Absolutely not. I think Hillary ran an interesting campaign. I didn't like a lot of the decisions she made when she ran. But here we are 2 times, guys. There's no way the electorate and the money will ever forget this.
Right. And the other part of all that is that a lot of people didn't vote, and people voted this time, and they go, but my vote didn't change. This is going to be tough getting the young people back saying, yeah, but your vote can't make a difference. When we were fighting Vietnam, the young people's vote didn't seem to move anything, and then all of a sudden it moved everything. So,
well, you were the boomers, Mom. I mean, you're the largest demographic voting universe in the history of the country.
But we won't be there, and
the millennials are technically that. Unfortunately, all the white male millennials voted for Trump. That's the problem.
Okay, everybody, we're going to cut this off, and we're going to tell everybody to go read the Greek, it's a Greek play, Lysistrata. Go read it and see what it's about.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Talk to you later, kid.
All righty, Sean's little info on the ground.
You know, I had a reader who doesn't do any politics. All she deals with is aliens, which could become a political issue. But as far as I know, it's not right now.
Well, we are having a hearing here in a few weeks.
I know. She called me up and she said when she was meditating, she kept hearing the word sleeping voters. And for those of you who don't know that political term, it means voters that haven't been adequately identified. You know, and I thought it was going to be the white women who didn't want to have their health care rights taken away. I was wrong. You know, it was the Hispanic males, but for everybody else,
Sean's a realist.
I raised him, and I'm disappointed in Sean a whole lot, but I still like him.
No, it's just what he sees. He's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He has his opinion, and now we'll get into the spiritual side.
Yeah, and the spirit, and you know, and he felt like when he got to Wisconsin, there was so much they needed to do for the local campaigns, and quite honestly, for those of you who don't know the structure, the presidential campaign will tack into any walkers they have, but they have no effect over that. So what Sean was talking about is the people he really worked with. What do you know about that Alfie person that got raided?
I don't know, just the article. I was just trying to star it. Accidentally, but yeah. Thanks for your questions, Joe G. I'm starring a whole bunch of them. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. as far as the numbers go, they're really weird.
Yeah, none of them make sense, and nothing matches with what was there before.
So, like, if you look at North Carolina, I was telling Nancy Jean before, there was a video I just happened to catch.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was going through all the numbers. There's over 1 million difference from Josh Stein's numbers to Trump's numbers. And there's like 270,000 people that voted for Trump, but no one else.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that way throughout all the swing states, mostly the swing states. It's super weird. And it's never happened before. So let's say in Wisconsin, I checked Wisconsin's numbers. There's a 30,000 difference last time I checked in the positive for Trump compared to the Senate. So 30,000 plus people voted only Trump and no one else, or didn't vote in the Senate race. So why would any MAGA vote for 45 and not want Eric Hovde? It makes no sense. And I went back in 2022. We had the Senate with Ron Johnson and our governor in the race. Those two numbers are equal.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
Did they take away? Do you still have straight ticket voting?
No, you have to circle everything.
Okay. See, we had straight ticket voting for years. And when they did it like that, you could see some patterns that would change like that. A certain percentage always vote straight ticket. Then you can pull out the ballots that are not. For those of you, I guess states don't have it, but in Texas for a while, if you wanted to vote Democrat or Republican, there was a big button at the top. You push that, and it was supposed to record everybody down the way. And I've seen where machines were manipulated. I actually was helping a friend who was recovering from heart surgery who went to vote. And this was when Cruz ran against Beto. And he pushed the button for Beto. You know, he pushed the straight Democratic, which included Beto's button. But then he went back and checked the whole ballot. And it kept flipping his vote to Cruz. Because you can vote straight ticket, but pull one or two races out. So
yeah. Okay.
And trust me, it's been a hard week. For some of us, harder than others. I fell down on election night and bruised my butt. But
yeah, it was very hard. My Nancy and I, we were devastated, and we were holding each other in tears. And it's like, this couldn't have happened. It's been frustrating the last few days. Definitely.
Game's not completely played out. And the thing is, Trump has always overplayed his hand at the end of the day. So, but I'm not going to tell anybody someone's going to ride in on a white horse and save us from ourselves. We need to really work. I mean, I've worked in politics for so long, and I know all the disappointments, but I keep working.
Yeah, we gotta work, stay positive, and whatnot. So let's see what the cards have to say with Joji's question here.
Which is
this the creator's will, my will, collective will? What happened in this election cycle?
Okay. Well, that's a multiple-choice question.
I can believe the election was close because of disinformation. So, but why did this happen? In the current timeline, it's not over. We'll get to other questions, feelings.
Okay. Make sure.
Yeah, Sheila, it's a different disinformation crazy. Like there was a spike of Google searches for mass deportation. What are tariffs?
Yeah, that's the one that gets me because of all the things he's threatening.
But we had some great senators in the East get elected, in Delaware and Massachusetts, was it?
Right, but then you lost Sherrod Brown. in Ohio.
Ohio is always going to be tough. Okay. What happened in this election? Why did this happen? Is there a timeline yet?
Okay.
What do we have to learn? I'm getting because justice has not been completed.
Yeah, that's
my first thought.
Hard in on me is justice has been reversed.
Yeah.
And it's because people are voting too much for their own self-interest and not enough. They don't understand they're part of the collective of what we're all working on. It's very out of balance. And it's really the whole issue is people and money and greed. But what it's done for all of us is it's made us be the Seven of Wands. Learn how to defend ourselves. That we have to defend ourselves. No big brother's going to swoop in and take care of us.
Okay.
What'd you get?
So what I'm getting here is that this is an opportunity to stand up.
Right. That's the Seven of Wands.
And we were complacent in 2016, thinking that the structures, everything would hold. Having a president that was beholden to Russia and more. They knew. They thought, oh, this is the way it is, da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the Page of Cups, Magician, and Chariot in the past position. So I'm like, the Magician is like the elemental forces of our government, security, national security, our alliances, da, da, da. And with the Chariot, it's like, okay, this will hold. He got elected. We can't do anything about it. So then I move on to the current situation. Seven of Cups. Everything's illusion. Eight of Cups. We got to walk. Don't want to walk away because I got the Page of Swords next. If we walk away, everything will be an illusion. It'll be a mess. The Page of Swords says we need to stand up. And I'm talking about our institutions. I'm talking about the DOJ making things happen. Moving forward, I have the Knight of Swords. So that's moving in a speedy situation. Can be investigations. The Lovers doing what's right, making those connections. But I have the Nine of Swords, which is those frustrations. I feel some complacency in this. And like, do we or don't we? The whole thing I'm getting here is that in sensing, if the DOJ and the feds don't stand up now to what's right,
They've got 70 days.
We're going to lose everything. Basically, we got till December 20th when they do the electoral count thing.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court handed Biden another card, which is he wants, and he won't be tried.
So the end is yes. I'm getting yes. There will be investigations. They are doing it because I'm got the Fool. They're taking that leap of faith to do what's right. Temperance. Wait, people. Be patient. The High Priestess. This is kind of like doing things in secret the way they're supposed to be. And Knight of Cups coming out with a good outcome. So I think that was the whole challenge. We never took 45 serious. We didn't hold them account like we're supposed to. It's what was it? Venezuela or whatever. When that guy tried to do a January 6th coup, their Supreme Court, their investigation shut it down right away. Everyone is arrested. He was arrested or whatever. He was banned for being public office for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. We slow walked everything.
We didn't.
So what I believe what could have been only done differently is if Garland, Jack Smith, and the prosecutors said, no, you aren't leaving detention until this court is over.
Mm-hmm.
Could have locked them up, especially after at least tried, asked for it, not let them walk. That should have been how it should have been handled. He's dangerous, and this is what needs to be done. If they don't stand up for what's right, which I do believe they are going to this time finally, because he's been getting away with everything. So that's the lesson we need to learn, is stand up for our democracy in a stronger way. And I believe they're doing it behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're not going to put it out in the public. And, her doing a concession speech doesn't mean if something pops up and everything changes, she can't be inaugurated. And
yeah, they're just going through the constitutional crisis. What is right? Show the people this is how it's done, not fomenting a coup and lying about everything.
And sweet darling Lulu, stay out of the Xanax. It's not going to help.
Love and light, we can do this. So that's what we're going to do.
And the more of us, there's a theory in the quantum physics of our world that it takes 10 to 15% to be totally focused on the right direction, and it'll shift. And there are people. Pam Gregory has a worldwide meditation she does. If you look on her site, you can find out the time. It's on Sundays, and it's like in the afternoon here. But there are things you can do that can connect you back to a better center. Okay, who is this Alfie person?
So yeah, it's like a health farm thing.
Health farms is a dairy thing.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's a huge 45 supporter. He donated. He had all
I thought Alfie Oakes was a woman.
No, this is a farm.
Okay.
It's a farm called Alfie Oakes in Florida. Big connections to 45 and Roger Stone. So Cybersecurity Division, FBI hit this farm last week. I sent you the article. I think you commented on it. So what's this about, and what's going to happen next with it? Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the election.
The job had a lot to do with keeping people off balance, which I would take it was disinformation. I think they had connections to foreign governments. Things were going through there for foreign governments. And then right now, it's getting pulled back into balance. Remember, we had the Two of Wands. They're not being balanced. Sorry about the ice machine, guys, for those of you who heard it. And this is that they're really going to find out what they did wrong. And it's going to bring truth down on them. So we just have to wait to figure out how they got the thing to get in.
1, 2, 3. Okay. There is a 45 connection. I got the energy. King of Coins comes up for him. There was something done against the United States. Something with Joe Biden coming up, the United States, and a mystery. It's in connection with 45, not wanting him to lose, but there's truth and clarity with the Ace of Swords here. In the end, it is something to do with chaos against the Democrats. there was an offer put out there by the dark forces within the Republican platform. And yeah, so they did something against the Democrats here. There's an offer of great ten of swords damage against the Democrats. So yeah, it has something to do with some kind of hacking or some kind of interference to prevent 45 from losing. But the truth will come out here with the Ace of Swords. Yeah, they swept in quickly. Bottom of the deck, I had Knight of Wands. So right. Something they figured out, and they swept in very quickly to take care of something, figure it out. So I didn't have anything with coins like it maybe doing with the election, but it may be something else.
It had to do with them not having a structure below to work. They weren't working on things well. So this was a new plan that got hatched last spring. And it got cut off. It got cut off. And it was so that Trump could ride in triumphant. But what they're going to find out through their investigation is he wasn't. It wasn't. They're going to make a decision.
No, I don't see a new election.
No, there's not really a mechanism for that, Rosie.
There's no mechanism for that? No. If they can dig in, cybersecurity, election, whatever, and see if they find anything wrong, which I believe they will, show proof, then an automatic recount and check can be done.
And for people who are asking, is this going to be now or in history books? Kennedy was shot when I was a freshman in high school. And we still don't know because people interfered. So I'm hoping people can work faster than that.
Okay, Alfie. Okay, what did Kathy D say? Do you think 45 will suspend the midterm elections? No, you won't get that far.
I'm going to ask if they're going to ever be able to support what I want. And I worked on this in the 70s, is getting rid of the Electoral College. So I always felt that was so unfair. And it wouldn't have helped us this time, but it would give them fewer states. That gives them a target bunch of states. So.
Oh yeah, shouldn't the Republicans now want to be all for getting rid of the Electoral College since supposedly he had the most votes? They should be all in for it, right? I think I'm just going to ask the future of our elections.
It's no. They're going to try, but there's going to be too much resistance and too much fighting against it. That's going to be too close, even for his idiots can kind of see that one.
The universal energy is there. Removing elections is like a devil idea. The energy is not available to do it. And then I have the Wheel of Fortune, which is changes, making things right. The energy is positive with Ace of Wands, and it'll be a no-go with any kind of cancellation with the loss here. There may be a new law or something to protect elections coming up. Because no, that ain't gonna happen. There won't be no suspension of anything. I don't see it at all. Well, the only reason Social Security is going to go away is if the Republicans have complete control and reorganize something.
Okay. But let's ask if it's going to go away. Sean has never believed there'd be Social Security when he finished. That's a whole mindset of his generation. And I think it's wrong. So
yeah, I mean, the way they're burning through money and more, retirees using it and less workers. That's why we need more immigrants. Keep the Social Security going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the future? True, Monica. They could just deplete it. Which
They did. They started under Reagan, taking out a Social Security fund. If they had never let them, it used to be in a locked box. If they never let them take that money out, there'd be more than enough money in there now. They used it to pay for their unpaid wars. So,
yeah. The future of Social Security. Please tell me the future of Social Security.
I got not right now, but there's a tower moment where they're going to try, and it's going to prove very wrong for them. It's not going to help them at all.
Okay. My senses were saying this could be an issue for the next 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to continue to bring it up. I think in the background, they've always had plans or something drawn up to hurt Social Security. Ace of Cups, the Moon, and Four of Coins. So Four of Coins would be like savings, keeping it. But there is that dark secret of the Moon realigning something. This also has my books on it and working on things. So they have always wanted to realign it. Okay. So then I have the Four of Cups of like being lazy, not really getting it done. But then I have the Wishes Fulfilled card and then the Sun. So this is saying, yeah, it's an idea, but they will never do it. Being lazy, Wishes Fulfilled, and then the Sun. Sun's a powerful card, right? It's clarity, hope, success. And in the end, I had the Queen of Coins. That's the money being there. But we're going to struggle for a while with the Five of Coins. So we have the money there, but there's going to be fluctuations of worry because of that being funded. But I get it being secured with the Knight of Swords. So like until we get our budget figured out with the massive debt, there is going to be a little bit of struggle there and talk about how we can change things, whatever. But the Republicans won't do it. But I see it shored up in the future. Ace of Coins. So like I said, it's going to be a talking point, but no, I don't see it going away. I don't believe it'll happen. But we need to get our budget figured out with this massive national debt the Republicans have done to us. But no, I mean, it's a worry. It's a fear. We have to be realistic, but it's going to be there. Well, first we got to figure out, we have all these questions about, will they get rid of the ACA? Will they do this? Well, they got to be in charge first to have any control. So do we want to go on that path with a question like that?
Which question?
In 2025, will the Republicans have control of the three houses?
Okay.
You want to get that done out of the way?
Sure.
All this other stuff is not an issue. If they're not in control. Because the energy shows otherwise. With the numbers and election and investigating. Well, thanks, Monica. Okay. Will all three branches of the Republican Party be in charge from 2025 to 2027?
Yeah, I got they're going to be in charge.
That ain't good.
Well, look who's in the middle, the devil. That's my devil card.
Right. I mean, the Dems could have one branch and secure it, whatever. We'll see. See what I get. Okay. Well, that means nothing's going to work if that's the case.
Well, they can't do it now.
Well, I mean, if there's voting irregularities and check it out. Anyway. Did you have any more you want to say about it, or is that just your overall read?
My tarot reading was the devil was in the middle. It was yes, yes, yes. The devil was in the middle. And then there were two in the future. They're going to block it, but it's not right now.
Okay. So I put it in my mind 2 years from 2025 to 2027.
And they're so ineffectual. I don't know that they could even get the things they want done.
Yeah, they never get anything done. They didn't get anything done the first time.
No, I mean, they've done less than anybody, and then they've got Magic Mike running them.
Okay. In the past position, so it could be like coming up the election and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The moon, 5 of cups, and death. That's pretty bad. Losses and endings.
Yeah, I had the moon in my reading too, and it wasn't good for them.
And then, let's see. Okay. Current, they had the advantage with the Ace of Coins currently, but then there's a walking away and a King of Wands taking charge in the current situation. Moving forward, I got 7 of Cups. Everything is an illusion. Page of Swords, new investigations, new things happening. And the 9 of Cups. We have a celebration going on. Outcome. 3 of Cups, we got a celebration. Another celebration. Toasting Cups. The Empress comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of Coins, continued work. And then 8 of Swords. There's a restriction going on with something.
I just did one row. Would Trump be inaugurated on the 20th? And I did one row on would Vance be inaugurated? And they both said no.
You said Trump and Vance will not be inaugurated. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. The Democrats win.
And yeah, I know it's weird. And what the deal is on Trump's, the only yes he had was a woman was supposedly helping him, and then there's another woman in the far future. But what's going on now is they can't keep their story together. Something in the rules is going to be brought out, and they're going to be thrown out.
Yeah.
5 of Coins reversed.
Bottom of the deck, which I always look at, is the 7 of Swords. Lies, deception, and deceit.
I got judgment because judgment
upon them.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going to happen in the next 6 weeks, folks.
I can tell you this. I have some European astrologers I watch, and all of them have said that from the day after the election forward, we were in for an S shower like we've never seen in our life. And it's going to start at the full moon. The full moon is the 15th. So for a lot of you who are feeling down, pull out anything you can about how to use a full moon positively.
That's next week?
Yes.
Next Thursday, is it? Something like that?
15th, whatever 15th. The 15th is.
Let's go with Carmela. Karma's going to hit it, right? Carmela.
See if she's going to get inaugurated. And then everybody's going to. I'm so grateful to the people who watch me and apparently watch you. Some of the readers, I talked to them and heard some of the crap they got from people about their wrong predictions. I'm not sure Sheila will ever talk to me again. She dedicated 3 whole shows to that Senate list, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, we just tell you what the energy and light brings in. And it's supposed to happen, obviously. When 99% of us totally felt secure Kamala was going to win. So I seriously was depressed about it. I'm like, how could it get that wrong? But we just tell you what the energy is, and I did.
I just read will Kamala be inaugurated on the 20th, and the first card in was good, but all the rest of them, the High Priestess was reversed. And when she shows up in my readings reversed, means we're not telling you shit.
Yeah, I always read the High Priestess as your soul contract and what's going to happen in the universe card.
Joe G, this is it. Full moon. On the full moon, Saturn goes direct on Friday. And then, and for the next 18 years, this was important. Where'd it go? Anyway, go in the chat and you'll find it. Because I can't stop the chat. That's your job, not mine. Full moon. Okay, I got it. Full moon's direct on Friday, 11/15/24. That is correct. Pluto moves into Sagittarius for the next 18 years after 11/19. That's what they're saying. I mean, there are so many big outer planets that are setting up major changes in energy and direction. And when this energy has been in our sky before against the USA's natal chart, our natal chart, I mean, if I had that natal chart, if I'd have been born on July 4th, 1776, and I was looking at what was lining up against me, I'd say, I'm old enough to be out of here. Thank you.
Okay. So what I got, I pulled 3 for 45 being inaugurated at some point. I didn't pick a date. And I picked 3 for Kamala Harris being inaugurated. Random picks. So I got 45. 7 of Swords. Liar, deceit man. The devil. And Judgment.
Okay.
For Kamala Harris, I got the High Priestess.
Yeah, they're not telling us much.
9 of Cups.
Very good.
And the 6 of Swords.
Moving to a new place.
Moving on to better waters.
Okay.
You know, I consider that a good card because otherwise,
yeah, I do.
We're going to be in a bad place.
Trust me, for about 50 years, I read that as a very negative card, and then I really looked at what it says.
No, I don't read this in this situation because I'm looking at right now it's not good waters, right?
Right now, nothing.
Being inaugurated is a good thing. The calmer waters.
Yeah, I feel like my spirit's being tossed around in a giant.
This is true. Love and light. You
can imagine when you try to call your children to get some solace and you get Sean on the phone.
I don't remember. It hasn't been settled. What country had that election and the guy fled to Spain or something when he's an actual winner? Is that Venezuela or is that was somewhere down there? And they kept denying the count, and we recognized he won, but the authoritarian rule installed the other guy, and the actual winner had to flee to Spain. I can't remember what country that was. Was that Venezuela? Yeah, that could have been. Oh, it must have been Brazil I was talking about.
Venezuela's all messed up anyway.
That's so sad. It could have been Jeff and Maduro or whatever. That's just crazy. And their Supreme Court and everyone just let it go. Nope. We're going with the guy that actually lost. So yeah, it's kind of strange online. MAGA people on Twitter and whatnot don't seem to be very happy if their guy won.
Well, maybe because somebody finally told them look, if you wait till the day of the election to Google, can my husband see my ballot? And there's a whole lot of questions they ask, like, what are tariffs? You don't ask that the day of the election. You need to know that before. And
no, there's probably more on that. Well, that's counted, right? There was no choice. And everyone says I mean, we talked about that. There was like 20 to 30 million new registers this cycle. So I think the total is like 260 million people eligible to vote in the United States. And there was like 30 million added to the rolls this year. Thanks to, Taylor Swift and everyone else getting the word out, register to vote. So 30 million people didn't show up registering this year. And I see it online. There's a ton of people saying, I checked my vote. It's not been counted. It's strange. I believe they're going to at least check. But yeah, this, like Elon Musk and him having talks with Putin, and this is.
Well, the other thing that can happen in this that we haven't even thrown in the mix is if Jack Smith's cases are never going to be able to go forward, he can release all the documents of what they found.
Correct.
And
that's
of course that requires reading and discretionary thoughts. So
yeah, it won't help the 50% of the nation. The other 50% will be like, oh, boom, look at this, it's out. And the other 50%, it's a hoax. Right? Fox News won't report it.
Okay.
Where's Russ Feingold? I don't know. He's retired. I haven't heard anything about him.
I did a thing on RFK. He's never going to serve in a cabinet position.
Oh, yeah, that'd be insane if he was. I wouldn't believe that.
Oh. Yeah, well, let's put a guy with a brain worm in charge of the health.
My mail-in ballot was not counted. Now they say I didn't vote. Oh, my God, yeah. I've seen the numerous videos. One lady in North Carolina, I think, she said nothing was on her My Vote page. It was strange. So she called into the election center. Could you please see if my vote was counted? They did their numbers and says you never voted. And she went in and voted. So she said she asked for a mail-in ballot, never received it. So she ended up doing a provisional ballot or whatever the day of. Since they sent her one out.
Why would she? Okay, this does not make any sense. If they showed she never voted and then she asked for mail-in ballot and she didn't get it, there'd be nothing in the records that would stop her. That's a person who does day of voting. So
I think it has something to do with because there was a ballot sent out to her supposedly.
Well,
they got to make sure she's only doing one, something like that.
Right. That would make sense. But you can also waiver. That's part of the provisional ballot thing. Right. I had several people write to me in my own business, the Crystal Directions email, wanting to know how to find out if they voted. I can always see it the day after, and I always go check and make sure. It doesn't say how you voted. It just said that you voted. It says the date and the time. And I looked at mine, and then I went and looked after the kids voted, and they all got recorded. But I don't know how every state does it. So a lot of them
are different.
So I went into Ballotpedia and referred a couple of these people to the Ballotpedia selection on how to make sure your vote's in the mix somehow. But
Wisconsin says it takes about 45 days to update. Right?
We do it overnight.
Mine shows nothing except the spring election. Other people I've seen from Wisconsin, there was an error. in theirs. So there is people having different results by showing, but Wisconsin's a little different. They don't update it right away. Other places is immediate. So you can.
That's what I mean. I can't. That's a question I can't.
Yeah, every state's different. Yogi says their vote didn't count, or says they didn't vote.
If you check and it says you didn't vote and you know you did vote, that's when you start talking to them. And I don't know what part of Texas you're in. I live in a blue county, so that's with us as much.
It's either that, yeah. I've seen numerous cases. People said they asked for their mail-in ballot, it never arrived. So, mega mail carrier or something, maybe just do it away. Or people mailed them back and it never arrived. And they checked, and most of these people are diehard, will vote. So they went in day of to vote.
Yeah, I had somebody who couldn't come to my class because she voted day of, and she stood in the sun for 4.5 hours and got sick. So, yeah, Michelle, I'd have to know where you lived, but yes, literally the day after I cast my ballot at the beginning of the selection, I could go online in my county and see that the ballot had been cast. Doesn't say what you voted for, just says you voted. Trust me, we use that information. It's one of the things Sean does is he knocks out people who've already voted so the walkers don't waste the time walking to houses that have already voted.
So yeah, well, last Sunday when we were on the live, we had Democrat walkers come to our house while we were on the live.
Right.
And Nancy told me they seen, and well, they know our history of voting. They can see that we have voted Democrat.
We set up the walk sheets that way.
So
I know the walk sheet they were using because I designed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they already knew that me, Nancy, and her daughter Haley have already voted. They were wondering if Mom, Ann, was going to vote yet. Does she need any help on Tuesday? Right. Like, no, we're good.
That's part of the small army Sean sent out in your state.
So yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. But they were here while we're on live last Sunday. Them stopped coming to our door because they already knew a long time down. Yeah, if you voted early, they would already know, and there was no point to stop at your house.
Yeah, we had to tell the ones that were making phone calls to quit calling us. I gave them the line number. I said, if you want to go in the Dallas County records, it's on this line.
There you go. Alice said she seen hers was counted. Good deal. And that's the way it's supposed to work. If you mail in your vote, and you'll get the text has been received. And my Nancy did that during COVID in Wisconsin, requested the mail-in ballot, and everything checked out. It was said received and counted. She got text and emails back. And that's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, did they go? Fort Worth. Okay, see any other questions? Oh, did we want to go back to this? Is MAGA waking up to the reality of path they have chosen for themselves? Yeah, we mentioned that already. About there is some regret, and you said about the Google searches. But the diehards, what I see in my
if their brain
my page, no, their brains are gone.
I can tell you, if they start complaining about Jimmy Carter, just walk away. I mean, I can't believe it. When I used to be out in 2004, and people would be bringing up Jimmy Carter, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, that was a long time ago. I had an infant child when that was all going on.
Yeah, totally different demographics, totally different world. There was no social media like now.
No, Susie, if you had a private reading, next year was going to be good for you. and it was reasonably good. So I guess this now changes your whole reading. No, it doesn't. Your reading is your reading. I was so glad yesterday I had a private reading that I did for a guy, and he lives in DC, and I read him about twice a year. And when I first met him, he was staying with friends, and I held the meeting with him in the closet because he didn't want other people to hear. So I could see all these clothes hanging around him. I mean, his life had completely fallen apart. And this is 4 years later, and everything's going great. And he was telling me, when you read my cards last year, you saw me taking all these fun trips. And he said, at the time, it was in December a year ago, he said, I have absolutely nothing planned. And then he got invited to go on a trip with some friends to Greece. And he said, only if I can really go first class. And he had a client show up that paid him for he's some kind of an analyst, paid him for all his services. So all of a sudden, this big bowl of money come in. That was exactly what he needed to take the trip to Greece. And that started it. And he ended up taking trips into South America. And his birthday's next week, and he's going to a place a lot of people in Dallas I know goes, a luxury resort in Mexico. And it was so nice to talk to him, because I was telling him, you're kind of getting bombed for having seen things wrong. He said, I don't know about the country, but you did me great. We have to remember when we do things right. And this is going to take, a lot of you are not going to trust a word we say when it comes to cards, but all we can read is the cards that were there right then. And I've lost races, and it's very difficult emotionally to get over, so I'm kind of better prepared for that than most of you. And I'm scared for, they get in and really do what they say they want to do. But my guides, Frank and Addie, keep saying, they're not going to do that. You're going to be okay.
Even if they were in, I don't believe they would go full communist like that. Obviously, controlling women seems to be a high priority.
Yeah, but I'm so old. That's been my life. There was just this brief period of time.
Okay. I guess Liz had a question and Jeff was repeating it. MAGA and the Christian nationalists wanting to vote for Trump. They really think...
Oh, God, it's an Antichrist question.
And ushering in the rapture. This feels like a select few of people, not a lot.
Oh, no, Scott, come to Texas.
I mean, I'm not talking like, okay, let's say 50%, 70 million people voted for 45. These are like 5 to 10 million.
That was not his margin. And
I'm just
really look at if you want to, Ellie Down Under, not that I usually tell about other readers, she did a whole study of the Christ and the Antichrist because she really wanted to try and figure it out. Well, first of all, my youngest child said, if they're reading Revelations and pulling that stuff apart, they're lost anyway. But the Antichrist and all that stuff, there is a group. I mean, there's a bunch of them that do, like when Trump moved the our embassy to Jerusalem, they were cheering in the streets because that's one of their signs. Those people I find to be, I can't even think of anyone in our world that's out in that, as far out as those guys are. Except the person who said aliens are going to come in 2029 and when we've straightened this mess out among ourselves. So,
yeah, I think they do believe it.
Oh, yeah, they believe it.
Ace of Coins, Devil, Wheel of Fortune. They really believe there's going to be a change in our destiny because of 45.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dark.
Yeah.
It ain't real, but they believe it.
I remember the first time when my first husband was a minister and we were out eating with some other ministerial husbands and wives. I think this was the last one I ever went to. And they started talking the rapture crap, as I call it. And all I could think the whole meal was, if going to the rapture means going up with you, I'd rather stay with the people I really like here. So.
What was Debbie saying? Yeah, in the Bible, Bell is real.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Well, that's because that's their way out. That means they don't have to do any long-term planning. God's going to come get me one day.
Let's say next. Okay, we check this. The energy on who it. We don't have to look at that. The cards will tell you. I'm just going to say who's going to be the next Senate leader.
Okay, and we'll lay a row for each of those. Likely, you want someone else?
I'm just doing it because I use wands for Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
and I use cup for Democrats.
Well, I presume the next GOP leader of the Senate's going to be a Republican.
Oh yeah, that's true. They have quite a lead. I'm just going to try it that way first.
Okay.
Just tell me who.
You do you, and I'll do me.
Yeah, you do you, I'll do me. I'm just going to ask a general statement, not look at these three people. I'm going to try that. Who will be the next GOP?
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it with the bunny cards.
Who's going to be the next Senate leader in 2025? Who's going to be the next Senate leader in 2025? Senate leader 2025. Okay.
Oh, please not be pouring in. Oh, God. No, not pouring in.
2, 3, 4. Okay.
And someone else.
Okay.
Okay.
I got an emperor. Well, I always go with full reading pass. So someone else will be the leader.
That's right.
With the Page of Pentacles, Temperance to let everything play out, and the Emperor coming into our life.
Mm-hmm.
Current situation, Ten of Pentacles. Shoring up things, I feel like there. Ace of Swords. We're gonna wait for the truth. There's a hollow victory here. Some frustrations and justice coming. So we got justice coming with the truth. And in the Ten of Pentacles. Moving forward, Empress. Delays prove necessary. Ace of Wands, new beginnings. Two of Cups, a cooperation. In the end, I have Page of Wands, messages coming out. A young woman. Page of Wands can be a young woman, according to this card. Four of Pentacles. More coming. Six of Cups from the past, and then Four of Cups. There's a lot of delays here.
Yeah, what I got is they have made their mind up. I mean, they're fighting like cats and dogs in the background.
I don't think the energy can tell me who it's going to be.
I can tell you what the fights are about, though.
I don't really have wands or the Ace of Wands, but it's a mixture, and there's no Ace or King of Wands. So I'd be looking for a King of Wands or a King of Cups. I have neither. I think there's a lot to play out yet.
Yeah, I've got that Thune, God, could people be that stupid? Cornyn's fading fast though, because this is his movement forward. It's the death. It's the 9. He's really worried about it. He really, really wants it. And then Rick Scott, he's ready to steal it. And people are looking at him. Rick Scott has the best cards of the 3 that are named. And then I put someone else. And someone else, it has the Wheel of Fortune in there. So I think it may be that these guys are fighting so hard among themselves that I got this card that none of senators want to pick them. So they're going to pick somebody else. But I don't get, it's going to be a younger man than they would have expected.
I got a younger coming out.
Yeah, I got a younger. I got the Page of Cups.
Ace of Wands. 10 of Coins. I shuffle. I'm going to see what comes out first. Which king comes out first? King of Wands or King of Cups? Jesus. Nothing yet.
They're all fighting.
That's a King of Swords came out first. That's neither. That's Justice Man. Wow. Nothing. A lot of swords.
They're fighting.
The first king came up as a King of Cups. I don't know. That's Schumer yet.
Well, do we know what color of hair Rick Scott had before he went bald?
It has none. No, Josh Hawley would not be.
Oh God, no.
Did you want to check on Jack Smith?
Is he going to let everything out?
Is he going to? How about more indictments?
Oh, no, coming after the other players?
Yeah, I have a banner I have saved. Is everything just gone now, or is he going to continue? Basically the question.
He's got 70 days.
You got 70 days to do something.
And if they're charged, they have to go forward with it until Trump comes in and says everything stops, and that certainly shows his hands more.
Well, he would have to pardon every congressman and every J6er, and yeah, and that would not be a good look.
Oh, they're not going to try and kill it when they come after him. Yeah, he's working on the paperwork right now. And when he decides to come in, there's going to be no defenses. He's going to open everything up wide. It's going to happen really fast. And I see 8 days or 8 weeks, but I can't be 8 weeks. That's too long. And then he's going to ride in victorious with what he shows up with. And they're going to try to kill it, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Yeah, he can pardon everybody in the world.
Hi, Debbie. Painting's a good idea. I know I've been seeing videos from Mexico. They're sick of Americans trying to move down there.
Yes, they are.
They don't want us there. Get out of our country.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a madman running our country.
And they have some financial rules. You have to take so many assets down and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of delays in the past. Issues with, I think so. There's been people lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with they've been trying to get cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
Talking with people. There's been lies in the background in the past. It feels like with you know, the FBI involvement, whatever, they go out and arrest or get cooperation. So they had to fight through some lies in the past. In the current, I have a tower moment coming. There will be losses with the 5 of Cups, and these people that were involved in the insurrection, they still have a lot of anxiety about this. You know, a lot of them did ask for pardons, right?
Yep.
So their anxiety is not cleared. Oh, bottom of the deck, the devil. So we need to get rid of the devil. Oops, shoot. I hit my phone. Oh, I'm still there. My screen went down. Okay, moving forward, I have Jack Smith riding in with the King of Swords, 3 of Cups, and 9 of Cups. We got a couple party cards going on. He's going to get her done. So a 3 and a 9, 3 to 9 weeks with that possibly.
Yeah.
In the end, we got Emperor, 6 of Coins. 6 of Coins is usually my documents card, or it can be. You know, it's material items. 9 of Wands, that feels like power, confronting powers. That's what it feels like to me. And the Chariot, he's bringing it. I get it again. We've always seen that. He's going to bring them. So I think that has a lot to do with the shifting. What's going to happen?
Yeah, the bottom of my deck was the Tower.
I had the Tower in. My bottom was with the Devil. Getting rid of that evilness. So yeah, I don't think this is over.
You know, Trump's not particularly loyal to anybody. So if they get, look at how much he's helped Rudy, who doesn't have his house anymore.
Or Rudy, he put up some post on his social media that, help me, I'm poor, I can't eat. These judges are taking everything away from me, so he's got to GoFundMe or something to help him eat. So yeah, the energy is still there for Jack Smith, DOJ, to do the right thing and bring down the Tower. Pray this happens, but the energy's there. We will go walking into a dark light if nothing happens. At least try. How much life does 40? I don't think it's much. Or does that mean how much life does 40? Well, you mean 45.
I'm going to change that to Trump, because 47 could be another person. We don't know yet. There's not a 47 till he's sworn in.
I don't know if I'll put out my visions. I did a meditation, and I was shown Kamala taking the oath, and I was shown 45 laying down. So I wasn't sure if that was a casket or if it was a hospital. So I think something major.
Either way, I'll take it. I don't care if it's in the middle of a parking lot. Let's see.
What is 45's? I don't want to say his name. I do not want to say his name. That orange person, how much life does that orange person have in him yet? What is his soul contract feeling of his life left?
I don't have a real good timing card in this.
Yeah, that could be Susie. Laying down could mean giving up. Okay. Citizens. My cards aren't going to tell me. It's all up to the angels and his guides when. He's got a new path.
It's going to be his heart. The only thing I got consistently was it's his heart. And I have fall and winter as my. I kept waiting for timing cards. This is fall to me. The swords are, and winter is the pentacles. And that's when I got those together, then I got the 3 of swords. And I got, and the finish of that was that this is why we might be seeing him lying down. He's going to try to fight for his life. And then he's got 2 knights. He's moving somewhere.
Sickness. Okay.
But we don't ever wish ill on anyone.
No, I was just asking for a soul contract.
Oh.
But yeah, I really didn't get much except it's the angels timing. So I just grabbed my other deck and threw 6 to clarify.
This is the card that fell out of my deck.
Is that the 9?
That's death.
Oh, that's a death card?
Mm-hmm.
Icky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do have severe sickness. So I have my Sun card, King of Wands, and then my severe sickness card. That's a clarifier. It could be 5 weeks, 5 months. And then our angels and guides, some investigation, maybe an arrest, whatever. That's my King of Swords. And then a transition. So that looks like if the feds come upon him, there will be a transition.
Mm-hmm.
Something else happens where he gets arrested or possibly wanted to be arrested or a new indictment. We do have the sentencing coming up in a few weeks for Judge Mashan. So it feels like something's going to scare him because I have a transition and severe sickness within the next few weeks. It feels like. I still believe Marshawn's gonna sentence him somehow to prison or home confinement. That might freak him out. Of course, it'll get appealed. Always does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he has no more money coming in. I don't know why his donators would ever give him any money now because he's not running for president, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he should be short of those. It says, my cards told me the waning crescent in Sagittarius season. When is Sagittarius? Is that December?
Yes. We're in Scorpio still.
Um, 45 moves on, not judge. Some say he's in cahoots with FBI. I don't believe that. Not the whole FBI. Is 45 in cahoots with the FBI? I don't feel that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I asked, no. Of course, he's probably got his thumpers, but as a whole, no, I don't believe it. One card. No. 6 of Swords, no. People with man. Linda, you kept saying some things. I missed it. People with their demands. Yes, it's always our spirit guides that help us get through bad things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you call on them, they can, like if I feel darkness or whatever, I just sit in silence and ask Archangel Michael, please take it away. Send it to the universe. And it's almost, to me, it's almost instant. It just, things wash away. So yeah, our spirit guides, the archangels, just asking can help a lot. Let things go.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a good question. Will Joe Biden use any of his immunity, newfound immunity, or he'll take the high ground? Will Joe Biden use any of his newfound immunity in any which way or other? For executive order, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Real Rosie. I was feeling the collective pain too for days of our good people in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, will Biden use any of his justice? No. When justice comes out, for me, that's truth, clarity, life's purpose. And then with the Eight of Swords next to it. So justice is a balancing act, right?
Mm-hmm.
Justice. You want things the way they're supposed to be. And then the Eight of Swords next to it, along with the Six of Cups. Things have done in the past, standards, justice, life's purpose, balance, Eight of Swords. He won't do it. That's what I think.
No.
He's letting the legal system take care of it.
Yeah. He's a fool. He's free. He can go his own way now. He thinks that he feels that would be a way to break the government if he used it, because they'd use that forever. And he sees the whole setup for that happening as being death and the devil right next to each other. So no, he's not going to do it for that reason.
Yeah. I just don't see the Democrats going on that route of being on the dark side of things. You know, even though there's new immunities granted by the Supreme Court, Joe himself feels it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go down the dark path and then send it backwards. And you just gotta, Lord knows the right would just destroy him for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sheep that's already in a disinformation campaign would just soak it up. And for the next years, they'd be saying, oh, we got to imprison Joe for an executive order. Heck, my uncle still thinks Hillary and Obama are going to be in prison after 2028 or 2025.
Oh, he doesn't think they're going to be in Cuba, in the Cuban prison?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what my uncle believes, yeah.
I know.
Hillary and Obama are going to prison in 2025. I tried to tell him, sir, uncle, there's a 5-year statute of limitations. So no, it's passed, so it's not possible. I don't believe you. Because there's 51 intelligence agents say that Hunter Biden's laptop was a Russian disinformation campaign. And Biden should go to prison.
So what does he want him to do to Elon Musk since he's been talking to Putin?
Oh, I don't know. He's been quiet on that front. Because he probably doesn't even hear about it. When you listen to Fox News constantly, you don't get the right information. Okay, we're at 153. Let's universe energy for the week.
Okay.
You're probably getting a little tired, aren't you, dear?
Yes, I am. I'm recovering. I fell down on election night. And I mean fell down, guys. Fell down.
Oh, Clarence. I think Joel will pardon his son. If 45 can pardon every criminal he's ever been around with, Joe can pardon his son. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Okay, 3 cards for us.
I'm going to pull from the Power of Surrender deck.
3 cards for us for the week. Thank you, Sharon.
Yes, Sharon's been in here posting all our good stuff. So.
I know. Light some candles. Positive thoughts. Okay. Page of Gabriel, following your passions. We are ready for the next challenge and opportunity in our adventures. Knight of Ariel, being trustworthy, devoted, There's so much more to accomplish. Follow the plan. And then the page of Ariel. An excellent opportunity for the next part of our path. It's time to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of pages. There's some new opportunities here. There's new.
Yeah, there's a lot of information that's not fully formed yet. Okay, are you done?
Yep, those are my 3.
Mine is surrender over your desire to control people, which is what I think all of us feel today. Why can't we make them understand? It says, being over controlling can sabotage a relationship. It's to be more effective and achieve your goals. Back off, regroup, and give this situation time to wind out. So that's good news. That's for this week. I mean, doesn't mean you shouldn't do the things you need to do to stay informed. But if being informed triggers you off, don't be informed.
Yeah. Just watch some movies.
Mm-hmm.
Chill out. I don't think we're going to turn into Russia. I think democracy will hold. If we're wrong and the GOP takes control, I don't think all that stuff will be implemented. A lot of it will still have to go through the courts.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't destroy the people in one full swoop. And if they want to destroy the country and crash the economy, people will figure it out.
Right.
Who did it? Remember, check your milk, eggs prices, gas prices. Now, write it down.
Because
if it all changes, you can tell your Trumper, oh, look at the gas prices under Joe Biden. They do it to us, right?
Why would you talk to them?
Well, they're gonna.
I know. Okay. What are you doing this week other than driving around Wisconsin and enjoying the fall weather?
I really don't think I have any schedule. Anything else for readings? I haven't been asked. I've been trying to check my universe to see if I can channel something or get some information more, but it's been on the slow side. I think my guys just don't want me to do that anymore.
Yeah, well, I've got a show tomorrow at 11 with Terry from Holding Your Space.
Good.
And those are always real, just all we talk about, guys. We do not do any kind of politics. It's all self-illumination, self-study, and how to work that. Tuesday, I have my own show, and I have no idea as of this moment what I'm going to talk about, but I'm sure something will come up. And I am I'm beginning to do the 12-month readings. Although I don't think this would be a great year to sell that product. I mean, I don't know who wants to know what's going on, but I look at each month for you from January to December in 2025, and I'm still doing my normal readings. Giovanna, who asked, what is the price for a reading? You can go to my website, www.crystaldirections.com, or email me at crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail, and I'll send you the price list and there's several different things you can pick. You can pick past life. You can pick the next 3 months. You can pick just an hour of general reading, just kind of a spiritual check-in. And in December, I will be on every day for the first 24 days because I got an advent calendar full of rocks.
That's going to be interesting.
And I'm going to have a reader or someone else. I had a couple people that I've taught tarot stuff that want to be part of it. And there'll be a person on with me. We're going to pre-tape all those. So, so we can do that. But if you're interested in that, let me know. And I'll tell you what time it's going to set it.
Oh, poor Jazzy, surrounded by 45 lovers. Yeah.
Well, they're going to get disillusioned soon enough, sweetie. So let them have their fun.
Yeah, reality is going to hit at some point.
And
we stay in the light, we stay in the love, we stay focused.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we are. And, you know, I just keep moving on. I keep every day getting out of bed since I fell over sideways is a bit of a strain, but I'm doing okay. It popped my neck, so I no longer have the pain in my hand.
Yeah. True, Evelyn. I had to chat with my daughters about that. And they're a little weirded out about it. He's like, how can you let politics affect family? I'm like, it isn't politics, honey. It's about the moral values of your soul. And if they apologize and change their ways and see the light into a better, healthy environment, I'm all for forgiveness.
Right.
But at this moment,
ask them how much
their moral values are way too off to be in my space. Nope.
I just tell people I can only deal with reality, so as I can feel it. So that's kind of what's going on in my world, and there are a lot of questions.
Oh, so sad, Jazzy. I would be devastated.
Well, I just walked away from my 3 brothers years ago and that's before Trump showed up, because everything I worked on and believed, they didn't work on and believe. And I don't want to have to hide who I am to make their life easier. So it just made my life easier to get away from them. And I have not missed it. We are in a battle of moral politics, and we need to focus on our own morality, helping the people around us, and just see what.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have crossed the border years ago. I've got family up there, but I'm not a Canadian. I'm an American.
Yeah. All right, peoples. Have a great day. And remember to be the light and not the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.